Hello and Om Shanti. Welcome to today's Power Boost meditation. My name is Karen, and today we're going to explore and experience about insight, inner sight, and how seeing through the eye of spirituality or spiritual knowledge gives us a lot of happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment, and shifts our attention towards a new world. So, this morning, I would love to share an experience I had this morning. After my early morning meditation, I went for a little stroll. The air was so fresh and the land was so green. Plants are blooming, and I took a little walk and I was feeling the benefits of what I'm going to be sharing. And I felt like, let me sit down for a little bit and actually think for myself a little bit more about what I'm learning or unlearning here at the Brahma Kumaris. So I sat with my notebook and I started journaling, and I got to a very beautiful point of knowledge that God is a soul. And I just paused and I started feeling that, immersing myself in the awareness that God, the Supreme, is a soul. And it almost felt like this deeper feeling started pervading from my being, and then I felt a presence near me. I couldn't remember anyone being near me on this walk. Now I'm sitting on the bench. So I looked up, and to my surprise, there's this lovely, lovely deer close up watching me, wanting to see what am I doing. Maybe this thought about God being a soul had a lovely energy, right? The deer was so close I could almost reach out and pet it, not quite. So he was very fascinated to see me in this contemplation. So we looked at each other for a little while, and I noticed that the deeper I went into the reflection, the more he would come closer to me. And if I started thinking about him, then he wasn't that interested in me and started to walk away. So that was a very nice experience this morning. It helped me to notice that, yes, where our thoughts and feelings and our heart is connected to is very important. We all know this, right? But that was a direct experience where I could see where I subtly shifted my attention made a difference into how this lovely deer was drawn to me or trusted me. And I must have been in a different space when I was thinking with my spiritual eye open, and it had obviously a nice vibration. So I'm sure all of us have this experience. So it's just a lovely reminder to notice on more and more refined levels where is my attention, where are my thoughts, where are my feelings, what is my heart connected to. And as we go deeper into this, of course, it engages all of our beingness. And so let's connect, let's be conscious of what we connect to. And having this insight helps us create more and more satisfaction from our inner world, which we can then vibrate out and share. And this, of course, has also a very positive impact on, of course, the mind, but also the body, right? And nature, all of nature. So insight and awakening the third eye, the spiritual eye. So let's think for a minute together. What awakens me? What awakens me in the morning? what awakens my awareness, what awakens my consciousness, and what awakens my conscience to these closer states of truth. And it doesn't have to be like a hard effort, right? Because that might then engage the ego. I know sometimes on the spiritual path, we might try too hard and then the ego comes in, and now I'm on the spiritual path with ego. So, a gentle effort, and I'm finding more and more that gently asking a question and then letting it be awakens the consciousness, because it's the more kind I can be to my heart as well, not just engaging the intellect or the thoughts, but being very, very subtle, sweet, and kind to my heart, then opens up the deeper subconscious and the deeper feelings. And this, of course, is what we want to also engage. So, being kinder, softer, gentler. And here we learn about soul consciousness. And in soul consciousness, it's a very soft energy. It's a very allowing energy, allowing myself to be present, right? The softer I can relax into my being, the more present I can be, and the more conscious I can be, the more awake, the more love and peace and love are connected, accepting the self, being at peace with the self, being comfortable in my own being, and being comfortable in my own heart, of course, then allows a lot of graciousness and spaciousness for others. And then, like the deer, they might be kind of interested and come closer to you because you're opening up to your own heart feelings, softness, and what we could say life itself, right? So just allowing for the spirit that I am to be present, allowing for the gentleness of life itself. And it always helps to connect with a higher energy, a source of enlightenment, a source of goodness and purity, and what we could also say is the supreme being, of course, the highest source of these qualities I'm talking about. And the supreme source would always be constant. And so when I think of the supreme source, then I could also be constant. So instead of, say, noticing other people who may fluctuate or may go through changes in life as they grow and develop, if I remember the Supreme Soul and always stay connected with the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Source, who is constant, guess what happens? I am connected with a source that is constant, and this will increase my own inner stability, inner capacity, inner resilience, and of course, soften my awareness, and I'll be able to see more of what is true. And then we can really feel and see more love, right? And then we often wonder, after we soften or let go or go through a change, the world seems to also have opened up, right? And then we notice there's a lot of love everywhere. Did I just not notice, right? So oftentimes, as we know, it's a moving aside something, a letting go. So what I've been discovering, um, often we think about enlightenment or um, opening up our third eye, and I'm realizing more and more that to be enlightened is truly to care about the self, the whole self, and to be open to surprises, to open to letting go of whatever inside of me that was stuck or negative or holding me back. And then, of course, I can leap forward and discover something new about myself. And then I'm still moving, right? I have that momentum of being on this journey towards more and more love, peace, and happiness. So, this opening of my sight, um, and that's also a metaphor, right, for opening to what is invisible inside myself and this invisible quality of love, which is ever present. And so, having a guide, that's what I was thinking about this morning, having a true guide. Any guide that is a human being would also be, on some level, still making effort, right? But the true guide for all of us would be, of course, the Supreme. And again, he would, the Supreme Soul, he, she, a parent, a mother, a friend, that the Supreme is, would be constant. So we could have a very constant guide, a guide who is the highest one, a guide of all. And then we can, as we're caring for the self, it becomes much easier also to restock, refill with so much goodness. And as we know, I can be colored by the company of who I'm in relationship with. So when I'm connected with the Supreme, I would continually, it may be subtle at first, be colored by the company of the Supreme. And the qualities, the virtues, the powers of the Supreme would be flowing towards me, and I could restock, right? Because by the end of our spiritual journey, we may have become very tired, a little disappointed, a little disillusioned, maybe. Maybe we, by mistake, hurt others. Maybe we took hurt from others, and we need a little patching up. And so this is, by staying connected with the Supreme Soul, I can refill every nook and cranny of the soul that could ever need that extra love, extra care. And of course, it only takes a little shift in attention. Excuse me. So let's do that together now. Let's think about what I was just sharing. And now let's very, very gently shift awareness much closer to my real self. We often think while we're meditating, who am I really? And then, of course, what happens is I let go of what I'm not, anything external labels. Who am I really, and who do I belong to? So let's just gently relax into that trust of the true belonging to the original one, the Supreme Source. And let's keep that connection open with the heart flowing, knowing and trusting that I will be guided not to be more like anyone else. I'll be guided to be more and more like my real self. And relaxation always comes when I'm more at ease in my own being, at ease in my own feelings, and even at ease in my own worldview. Knowing that what I'm seeing is based more and more on eternity, more and more on my eternal and original real self. So just noticing, the more I relax, let the guide, the Supreme Guide, guide me back into my original seat, which is like a plush couch, a plush chair, very sweet and very loving, It's like being embraced, and that is a very personal seat within. It's like taking ownership for the uniqueness that is me, and at the same time, that balance of relaxing and trusting that the Supreme One is going to guide me there. So I don't have to struggle back into myself. I can gently relax back into myself. And like an archer, the more I pull back on the bow, the farther the arrow will go with more accuracy. And so the more I can withdraw into my real seat, that seat of comfort, guided by the Supreme, then when I see, I'm going to see much more in a wider sense, a broader sense, and I'll see farther into the distance. I'll have more vision. And of course, sight, the third eye, is connected to the intellect. And the intellect will also be opening, lightening, and having a much more far-sighted vision. So noticing that connection of insight and long distance sight. And the other thing that happens when I let go and see from this wonderful, pure place within, everything's more cheerful, lighter, and I see the significance of what is of my place in this much larger world. And when I'm in touch with the significance, I can ease up, touch resilience, touch a more broad-mindedness, and I feel relaxed in knowing and realizing the immortality of the soul, the eternal nature of the soul. And again, I'll be less and less concerned about the physical world, and yet, interestingly enough, I'll have more capacity to take care of the physical world, take care of myself, my feelings, and the more I'm full, the more I could share that fullness with others, with nature, and even take care of this precious body. The more I detach, the more I'm capable of love. It's a wonder, isn't it? So enjoy today connecting to the Supreme One, relaxing into the guidance of the Supreme One, which actually empowers my own spiritual capacity, my own wisdom, and my inner sight, opens my spiritual eye, and I can see and feel in a much more free way. So enjoy and just open to this capacity, which includes more and more love, which we know is the fabric of the reality. It's just trusting, relaxing, and holding the hand of the One. Om Shanti.